Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗿𝗀𝗏. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. Guys, I have some pretty good news. You know what? We are officially at 10,000 subscribers. Okay, I can scream more than that, but like, yay! Why am I getting crazy? Okay, you know why I'm so happy is because I made a video like a few months ago where I was telling you guys on TikTok on how my goals are of 2023, and I thought I would reach 10,000 subscribers by like the end of the year of 2023. And in a span of just like a few months, probably 2 months, we are at 10,000 subscribers. Like, you guys are here. I'm like, you don't know how that makes me feel. It makes me really appreciate your time. Yeah, like really your energy of you just clicking on the button of subscribe. Like you like what I put out, and it really motivates me. It makes me not to stop and really show me that I'm doing something that you guys like, and I'm also doing something that I want to do. So thank you so much, guys. In case you've not really subscribed also, you can still click the button. Thank you so much, guys. In today's video, this is something, as always, there's always something on the internet that is heated up, and this is also one of them. And yeah, let's watch the clip and then let's talk about it.
All white people are racist. Every single last one of them, all of them are racist. You uphold a system of racism by literally just being white.
It is 2023. 2023. This is one of those situations where you're fighting for a cause, you're speaking out about something, but your viewpoints get so extreme that you're now doing what you're fighting against. And do you know what I think? I think quarantine has to be the biggest factor of why we're seeing extreme viewpoints like this. You can't possibly fight racial injustice in this country and then immediately have your opening statement be categorizing and stereotyping a group of people based on the color of their skin. Your resentment toward far-right conservative white Americans does not give you the justification to group white people as a whole. It can't be all, right? I mean, it can't be the white South Americans, the white Central Americans, the white Africans, right? Because that doesn't make sense. It's not nice to call someone racist. We throw that word out to white people so much. It's like, really, it's really not nice.
So if you haven't seen the original video, just go and watch it. It's crazy, crazy, like crazy. Like, one of his points in his video was that when we call all white people racist, it takes away the bite from the word. That's the point. When you call a white person racist and they get defensive, they stop listening to you. So therefore, you cannot have a discussion, an open discussion about some of the things that they are doing being racially oppressive. When I say someone is being racist, it's not me saying you're a bad person. It's me saying the thing that you are doing right now plays into systems that oppress marginalized people, people who are marginalized by the color of their skin. But when a white person hears racist, they tune out and they immediately get defensive, unless they've done work on themselves. But when you say all white people are racist, then it's a leveling playing field. And then we can talk about what is more racist, what is less racist. What are some things that are microaggressions of race that we can work on in maybe like a 5-minute time? What are some systems of oppression that we may never even topple? We may never even topple. So what do we do from there? But we're not able to have that discussion, any of those discussions, if when I say you touching my hair is racist and you're like, well, I'm not a bad person. It's not even about that. And something else she said was, oh, it's not nice to call all white people racist. Okay. Sometimes the truth isn't nice, and that is okay. I'm a light-skinned Black person. There's colorism living inside of me. That's just the truth, and it's not nice to think about. It doesn't make me feel good that I have colorism in my thought process. I don't like that, but I know that it's true, so I work on it. And when someone says something that I say is colorist or misogynistic or fatphobic, I work on it. Because it's not nice, it's not pleasant, but that's the point. And I already know how this video is gonna come across. I'm going to be seen as aggressive because I'm yelling at the white boy with curly hair that looks alt. And I don't care because his video had like 1 million likes. Comments were turned off, so there was no discussion. And everyone in your videos that was complimenting you was white. So how does that feel? Does that feel nice?
I'm gonna say this. I don't think that person is categorizing. I think they're just acknowledging a simple truth. In reality, many Black Americans talk about having to unlearn internalized racism and anti-Blackness. So how is it that we can be affected by the media and it affects the way we view ourselves, but everyone else is just unaffected and y'all have never had a racist belief in your life? That's just not how reality works, and I think that a lot of times y'all overcomplicate what racism is to the point where it's only racist if I get called the N-word with a hard R, and I think that's just silly. I think that racism can look like having a fear of Black people, being afraid to interact with a Black person, being afraid that a Black girl's going to give you an attitude, when in reality, we've done nothing to you. Taking us more aggressive than you would take the average person. Taking us the worst way possible when you would give others the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes racism doesn't always look like hate. It can look like fear, it can look like disbelief, it can look like doubt. It's complicated.
Why are you getting called racist? My white friends don't get called racist. You know, Bill Nye doesn't get called racist. Tony Hawk doesn't get called racist. But you do. And then you go on to say that Black people overuse this word and throw it around like it has no meaning. Let me get this straight. Instead of taking accountability for, you know, what you did to make people call you racist. Because I've never seen a white person post a video of their dog and Black people call them racist, so. And instead of addressing that, you're just saying, they don't know what they're talking about, I'm a victim. What? I heard this, someone told me this after the 2016 election, and it still holds true today. And the saying goes, you might not be racist, but racism isn't a deal breaker for you. Trump made 3 million racist statements, you know, it's whatever. Your boyfriend who is blatantly racist, but you're still with him because you can change him. I recommend you talk to the people who called you racist and ask them why they said it, and stop acting like a victim online.
I unfortunately decided to watch that video again and have more to say. Firstly, at one point he says that calling somebody racist is mean. This is what happens when you live in privilege and delusion. Privilege is being in a place where you think being called racist and being the recipient of racism are somehow equatable. They're just not. They're just not. You can read literally any history book and understand that is false. If I call you a racist, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Your feelings are hurt. If I'm the recipient of racism, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen to me? I get killed. Those are not comparable. So that was, I'm really trying to be respectful, but that was just like a very ignorant point. The second point is, if you go through all those comments, you'll see a bunch of white people saying like, what am I supposed to do? Apologize for my skin? Oh, I'm sorry that I'm white. Things like that. There are about 37,000 points I could make off of just that. Firstly, nobody is asking you to apologize for the color of your skin. And it is extremely offensive to me that you think that as a Black person who has actually been expected to apologize just for the color of my skin. When people say all white people have inherent bias, what they're saying is if you are white, it is your responsibility to check your unchecked bias. Don't apologize for it unless you use it. What you need to do is reevaluate it. There are also a shit ton of comments like, why can't we all just love each other? Or hate doesn't fight hate. Firstly, don't make this sound like it is like someone threw a punch and then someone threw a punch back. This is not an equal fight. Black people are having origins in kidnap, sexual assault, and slavery, and systemic racism that is still continuing to this day does not equate to Black people saying that white people are racist. Okay, that is not at all the same. We are not fighting fire with fire. We are calling out fire.
So guys, as you've seen in the video, this is something that has really been heated up on the internet. And let me tell you guys, I feel sorry for white people. Honestly, like, I know some of you are going to be offended a bit, but this is a wrong time to be a white person, I would say. Like, who thought white people could reach a time where they don't really have to say a lot on this planet? Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it just feels a bit okay that we can now have a level of ground of communication and, you know, come out and give out our views without being blocked. And this is the situation that happened. So as a Black person came out and said and generalized that all white people are racist, and she continued to say they are racist because they are benefiting in a system that was made for them and does not favor any minority group or Black people, which is of course true. It is true. But then when this guy came out and tried to defend himself and speak on what is needed to be said, oh my God, yeah. You saw what happened. And I'm like, will these conversations have an ending? Because it feels like we keep talking about these issues and we are kind of attacking the people that are not even in power because they also found a system that benefits them. And I do agree, they need to reflect. As white people, you need to reflect and acknowledge that you are privileged. As always, I say this, and now he wants to act like a victim. But are you really a victim? Because everywhere you go, you're going to benefit, even if you're poor. Even like, it's so hard because even when a white person comes out and is fighting for, let's say, black people, they still benefit at some point because of their color. And I don't. That is something they just need to understand. And also we need to understand that what makes you think that white people and their descendants would want to leave power and give it over to us? We need to fight for it. It's weird when I say that, like, I don't want to incite any violence, but this is something that really needs to be on the table. Come to think of it, if you are in a society of black people, why are you wanting to touch their hair? You want to touch their hair because they showed you that their hair is a specific way. Because I do not go around wanting to touch white people's hair, because to me it's weird. I find it weird. If you want to hire a black person and then you have to remember, like, are they educated? You have to think of, are they qualified to have a position? That is still racism. That shows that you are also initiating in the system that they implanted in you, whether knowing or without knowing. If you have to make friendship with people of my kind, and then you have to first think of, are they violent or not? Are they aggressive or not? It is still the same thing, that you do things without knowing or really understanding why you're doing them. That is what people are saying. It's not that when we come out or when I come out and say, oh, you're being racist. I'm not saying you're being a bad person, but you've done something that reflects what racism was or what was put in the sense of racism. Like, this is a very big topic, and I don't know if these guys really reflect on it, because every time you say you are or they are racist, it's more painful to them than the system of racism that benefits them. That's where I have a problem. Why aren't you speaking of the system that benefits you? But when someone calls you racist, that's when you're like, oh, you're defensive. Oh, I'm not racist. I'm not a bad person. And then now you have to say, oh, I have black friends. And then you have to say, I have work colleagues who are black people. That's the weirdest thing ever. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Should white people come out and defend themselves over their supremacy? I mean, the systems that were created for them as descendants, because we are all descendants today. How do you want them to work on that system and fight it? There's also another person who I saw a video and said, well, us white people today, we are not racist, but we should just let the old generation die off, and when they die, then racism will be done. I'm like, are you kidding me? We are seeing videos of kids of 11 years, 12 years, 7 years treat other minority groups as less important. What do you mean? Like, this is something they are inserting in the children, and I really don't know how it's going to be worked on. I really don't know how it's going to end. But as always, we need to remember, it's a battle of power, and no white person is just going to give a black person authority to take them down. That's just something we need to accept, but we need to navigate around it and see how we can, you know, pass through with it and reclaim our throne, because we deserve it. We do. I know I sound cynical, but yeah. So guys, that was it for today, and as always, thank you for the love and support. Thank you for all of you guys that have resubscribed to the channel. If you've not, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm there. Tell me what you think, comment, and let's have discussions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.